They say the truth is hard to weaponize. They only injured when they telling lies. The devil feel the shame when revolutions finally televised. You've been advised. Crafting narratives incentivized when lies are uplifted. Being candid gets you penalized.
Yo, what's good? We got this video today made by Jew Almighty, saying this rapper just destroyed his career with Epstein lyrics. And it seems to be talking about the rapper LaRussel and his latest controversy. I usually like Jew. I'm usually all for all of my pro-black content creators as a pro-black man myself. But sometimes I feel like people go off the Richter scales with things just in the sake of content. And to me, this is an example of that. So we're just going to listen to it, check it out, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents on this situation because I do think it's kind of ridiculous. I think this take is kind of crazy, if I'm being honest.
Epstein, Trump, and Hitler heaven sent. We all heaven sent. In a song has to be the dumbest decision ever by a rapper. Epstein
Okay.
too.
He's saying it's a dumb decision.
Especially given everything we know about all of them right now. But somehow the rapper LaRussel thought it was a good idea and went against his own team's advice by boneheadedly dropping this song.
Okay, so he's saying LaRussel was advised to not drop this song, but he dropped a song calling Epstein and other people heaven sent, to which Jew disagrees with. Okay, let's keep it going.
Not to. I made this record and I sent it off to my engineer, and he calls me.
Okay.
He said, "Man, you probably shouldn't put this out." And I said, "Thank you for calling me. I'm finna drop this."
Okay. So he ain't listening.
You can see why any person in their right mind would think putting out this song right now, especially with everything that's been seen in the Epstein files, is insane. Which led to him getting cooked online, rightfully so. Instead of LaRussel taking a step back and trying to understand why people are triggered or upset, he chose to double down and recorded a 5-minute video of him walking through his neighborhood, calling everybody slow for not getting or understanding his message in that song. The homies briefed me yesterday on all the outrage, and my first thought was, niggas ain't that slow.
They are, bro.
But I go and look, and niggas that slow. The thing is, we absolutely get the message behind the song and understand the meaning of words like heaven sent. And those words don't mean
words like heaven sent.
He does not know the definition of heaven sent.
Oh, heaven sent. But I'm
doesn't
Jew.
know the
Welcome
definition.
to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. I made this record and I sent it off to my engineer, and he calls me. He said, "Man, you probably shouldn't put this out." I said, "Why? What the hell happened?" He said, "You know, you talking about Epstein, there's a lot of shit going on." And I said, "Thank you for calling me. I'm finna drop this." That's exactly why we need it. Because everybody sit and be silent. And the goal of an artist is to express the times and discuss, say all the things that nobody else want to say or know how to say. I'm not perfect, and neither is the president. Was guiltier than a nigga hiding evidence. You can't be mad that they heated if you don't let them vent. Even the devil was heaven sent. Even Malcolm was heaven sent. Even Martin was heaven sent. Even Kanye was heaven sent. We all heaven. Such a weird mix of names. The devil was heaven sent. Malcolm Martin was heaven sent. Ye was heaven sent. I get those last three. How do you put the devil in that? The devil was created by God, but he wasn't heaven sent. This is a perfect example of people just not understanding words and what they mean.
Not understanding words and what they mean.
Donald too. We all heaven sent. Epstein too. We all heaven sent. Adolf too. We all heaven sent. Even you. We all heaven sent. Bro should have absolutely listened to his engineer and his team. With everything that Donald Trump has been accused of, his name being in the Epstein files more than Jesus' name being in the Bible.
He literally said the devil.
We read in the Epstein files of them doing to kids, tying Epstein, Hitler, and Trump to heaven sent is insanity. LaRussel is just straight up misunderstanding what the words heaven sent means. If you believe in the Bible and Christianity, God created everybody, but everybody is not heaven sent. Everybody is not a blessing or a miracle sent from heaven at a time when it's most needed.
needed. Heaven sent. If someone or something is heaven sent, he, she, or it arrives or happens, usually unexpectedly, at a time when most useful. A miracle, a blessing, sent from heaven to help. That's what heaven sent means. God making us and somebody being heaven sent are two completely different things. And if you really want to get deep in biblical, Jesus is the only person that was heaven sent, like actually sent from heaven to the earth to take human form. But we don't even got to get that deep to understand this meaning. A heaven sent opportunity, a good thing, a blessing, a miracle is heaven sent. Hitler, Trump, and Epstein
He really
are
believes
not
he's cooking
heaven-sent
right now,
in any
bro.
way, shape, or form. And his tweet about this is so funny because he really thought he had something. My engineer
That's how I
said,
feel
"Yo,
about
probably
this
shouldn't
video
put
that he's
this
putting
out."
out.
That's exactly why I put
I'ma
this
let him
out. Your
get it off,
engineer
though.
was really the one that's heaven sent. The rest, not really. This nigga saying Lil Wayne had no bars, but he's babbling Twitter buzzwords over a beat. I forgot the whole Lil Wayne didn't really say nothing argument that he started. And even when you take a tweet and start good, props to you for putting this out. Most people wouldn't have the courage to drop dog shit like this. And this is exactly why I don't fuck with religion. You know Epstein was heaven sent. No, nigga, he was a child trafficker and a pedophile.
This is
and
a fair
immoral
comment.
capitalist. If that's heaven sent, heaven can go to hell.
This is a fair
Fuck,
comment.
I think that's an accurate point and a bad representation of Christianity.
No,
if
it's
you
not.
look at it like that. People not understanding what words or a term mean and projecting their own meaning.
They understand
which is
exactly what the words
completely
mean.
wrong, which then turns other people off to religion or Christianity or spirituality. Because if you're saying that Trump, Epstein, and Hitler were heaven sent, then why would anybody want anything to do with that? Should have listened to your engineer. I'm an actual fan, but
Let's go to this part where this girl's reacting, and she's basically saying the same thing.
or support in that crowd at all. I legit think this is how most of us felt hearing those names come out as they did with the word heaven sent behind them.
It's not how I feel.
Heaven sent.
If you stop right there, it started off so nice.
I know too. We all heaven sent. Epstein too. We all heaven sent.
Man, like this face.
Adolf too. We all heaven sent. Even you.
She is not entertained at all.
We all heaven sent.
He does not know the definition of heaven sent.
All heaven sent.
Okay. All right. So I let a lot of them cook, but or believe they're cooking, but I'm gonna tell you why this video is actually way more dumb than anything LaRussel said. So their analogy or their argument is simply he doesn't know what the term heaven sent is. He's using it in the wrong definition. Like they're saying the term heaven sent means something that is fortunate, meaning sent from heaven in a good way. That's the colloquial use of the term heaven sent. And everyone understands that. But why it's so stupid is because in music, what a double entendre is, or how people use music and poetic devices, especially in hip-hop artistry, is to reappropriate words for different meanings. He's saying you don't know what the words mean. No, he's using the words in a literal sense, depending on your philosophy. The reason why I said that one comment made sense is because they were saying they abandoned the whole idea of religion. So again, I'm not even arguing for the philosophy, whether it's valid or not. You have the right to be anti this creation story. You know, some people believe in this whole idea of this long-standing philosophical argument, destiny versus free will. Whereas everything kind of happens for a reason, so to speak, to apply to this grand scheme of things created by our Father who art in heaven, literally sent from heaven. The devil was a fallen angel sent from heaven, literally. So you're saying he doesn't understand what the words mean. Heaven sent, he's using the words in the literal definition. You're saying that because the Cambridge Dictionary and the common colloquial use of the word heaven sent means something fortunate, if he's not using it in that term or in that manner, then he's using the term inappropriately, when there will be no point of making a song that's listing off vocabulary terms. For example, everyone knows the phrase, a hit dog will holler. Usually how they're using the phrase is to say that if someone makes a general statement, only the person who it applies to or feels personally attacked by that statement would be the person to holler out, a hit dog will holler. But if in hip hop, if someone made a song talking about, I made hit dogs and therefore they holler, hit dogs holler, like reusing the term for a different meaning, no one will be like, you don't understand what the words mean. They will say, no, you're using the terms literally. Or any version of hitting the dog and hollering. That's kind of what artistry is. That's the point. You're not making a vocabulary song. If someone understands that when someone says closed mouths don't get fed, they're talking about, hey, if you don't speak up for yourself, you're not likely to receive an opportunity. That's what the colloquial phrase is used as. But clearly, someone can make a song about closing someone's mouth and them not eating in a literal sense. That's kind of the purpose of it, right? That's the poetry of it. That's the genius of it, to make you think about something in a different way. This is kind of this manifest destiny type of approach to things. And you can disagree with the philosophy, but to pretend as if this is some type of indictment on LaRussel and he's trying to say that Jeffrey Epstein is now heavenly or Donald Trump is heavenly or that he doesn't understand the term, goes to his point that you are acting slow, as if you don't understand what hip hop is. When Lil Wayne is using the term overstand me, it's not because he doesn't understand the literal meaning behind understanding. It's not like he doesn't get the use of the term under in the word understand. It's not literally below in that way. Overstand, he's reusing the word under in a literal sense. Juxtapose that to his antonym, over under. That's kind of the point of hip hop. So it really does come across as slow. When you're making this whole video talking about how, well, he doesn't understand the term, and I'm going to show you the definition of the term, because Cambridge Dictionary says heaven sent means something that's good fortune, heaven sent opportunity. So if you're using heaven sent, meaning sent from heaven, that is what the Bible describes. That's not misunderstanding Christianity or divinity in general. Some people reject the hypothesis that everything happens for a reason. That's a fair argument. If someone were to say, this is the problem with religion, when people believe that all of these negative things actually come from heaven, because God was to make everything, that's a fair argument, because you're disagreeing with the philosophy. But what he's doing is trying to pretend as if this was some anti-intellectualism. And to me, this is very anti-intellectual. This is very intellectually dishonest. This is overall way dumber than anything LaRussel said. We all understand what he's saying. You're on one hand saying, I understand what he's saying, but then you're saying, well, he's using the word wrong. No, he's not. He's using the word artistically. As Shakespeare did. He used many words in the way that they were not meant to be used. Verbs as nouns, nouns as verbs, nouns as adjectives. It's not that he didn't understand the literal translation or the literal use of the words, but words are given meaning depending on how people use them. And artists are always trying to find a different way to use words to kind of give you something to think on. So I thought this whole thing was very dumb to try to attack LaRussel for this. If you were to say this is bad PR timing, trying to make this artistic point in the height of the Epstein files and Donald Trump for all of his horror, terror that he's raising on the world in this country, then cool. If that would have been your point, then I wouldn't have had much disagreement with you. But this whole thing is dumb, and to sit there, and they're literally sitting there and laughing as if like, they're showing some type of moral or intellectual superiority when they're not. And I think that is very counterproductive. Like, you're calling what he's saying dumb while saying some dumb shit. He doesn't understand the word because he's not using the Cambridge definition of a colloquial term. It's not even a word. They're two words, heaven sent. If you understand what heaven means and the word sent means, then you can use the word different than the colloquial term. What are you talking about? It's not understanding. That may be not subscribing to that or not using that, utilizing it in that manner, which the English language provides many different liberties on how to use the language. Historically, we see that, especially true in art forms like hip hop and poetry and things of that nature. That's the whole point of it. No one's just defining terms. So to me, like, people missing that, you're either missing that or being intellectually dishonest, which either way is counterproductive. So I hated this video. I feel like this was very anti-intellectual in and of itself. And I don't see the problem with what LaRussel did, unless you either disagree with the philosophy of everything happens for a reason type of thing, this destiny type of philosophy, or this religious type of philosophy, which is your prerogative, I can understand that. Or if you think it was just bad PR timing, I think that's a fair criticism as well. But to pretend as if this is some indictment of his lack of understanding of the terms or whatever, or he shouldn't double down, he's saying exactly what he meant to say. Why would he not double down? He's saying literally the devil is heaven sent. And you're saying the problem stops at Jeffrey Epstein or Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler? How does that make sense to you? Clearly he understands that the devil is not a positive blessing in the literal term. But in the literal story of the Bible, he was actually sent from heaven. You can have the argument, well, why does God allow things, negative things to happen? It's a fair argument. You can have the argument that there is no God. That's also your prerogative to believe that. But this was just like pretentious and dumb to me. It wasn't intelligent. It wasn't clever. And you actually kind of proved LaRussell's point in the explanation when he was saying people are that slow. If I was LaRussell, I would definitely double down because you're saying exactly what you meant to say. You should only apologize if you meant something differently.
What's the reason LaRussell won't take criticism? He think we stupid. He like, man, y'all just don't get it. Like, nah, nigga, we get it. We don't like it.
Simple. Yeah.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying. It sucks.
We just don't fuck with it.
We don't like that.
It's just like your homie been like, nah, that ain't it. Take that.
Bro, you gotta
switch
take
it.
it. But this the thing.
Or you misspoke or something like that. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. Like I said, I don't really do too much of attacking other pro-black creators like that. It's not really my MO, but when they're also attacking a pro-black creator in LaRussell in a very anti-intellectual way, then I also feel kind of obligated to speak out for what they're actually intending to mean so it doesn't get lost in the sauce. But that's all I have for this video, man. I was disappointed in this video by Almighty Jew, and they're literally sitting there laughing as if they're cooking. The irony as I'm watching this video, they're like, he really believes he's cooking. Why they believe they're cooking? He doesn't know what heaven sent means. No, he knows what heaven sent means. He's not using it in the formal definition of the term heaven sent, which is what artists do in songs. That's kind of what, makes the creative process creative. So, yeah, this was trash.